Hi, the topic for today is subject-verb agreement, and this is yet another video on common errors. There are two examples that I've written here, and we will only discuss the first rule of subject-verb agreement. Though there are 20 rules to it, and you can always go ahead and Google and enhance your knowledge with that, if we just get the first rule right, a lot of problems are going to be solved in terms of speaking and writing. So let's go ahead and start. Now, in these two sentences, first of all, we need to identify what is a subject. In these two sentences, what's the subject here? Subject is nothing but the doer of the action. जो action कर रहा है. In Hindi we say करता. So in these two sentences, do we agree that he and they are the subjects? The only difference here is that he is singular and they is plural. Are we with me on this? So in this, the moment I have identified that my subject is singular, I will always go ahead and add an S or an ES to the verb in order to get the sentence right, which means under every circumstance, the moment I have identified the subject, I know it is singular, I will always add an S or an ES depending on the verb it is, and I will always get the right sentence, which means he plays tennis. Likewise, if instead of plays, the verb was teach, in that case I would again add an ES to it and say he teaches tennis, or he speaks English, he writes journals. Are we good? In the next sentence, the subject is plural. The way I've written they here, it could also be we. In both the scenarios, the moment I know that my subject is plural, I'm going to remove that S and ES from the verb and let it remain the way it is in its original form, which means they play tennis, we play tennis. However, if I now use a name here instead of a pronoun, which means, let's say for example, I say Paul and use the verb play, what do you think would be the sentence? Paul plays tennis, correct? Now, there's another thing that I want to discuss which is very important. In a scenario wherein your subjects are I or you. So for example, I say, I like English, I teach English. I and you are always treated as plural. Hear me out again. It is always treated as plural, which means I know I is single. It is just me, one person. But as per English language, you will always treat both of them plural, which means I will always say, I love you, and so would you. I would never say I loves you. Would you do that? No. Which means, following the exceptions, always use a plural form of verb with I and you. Do you love her? He loves you. She loves you. Paul loves you. Are we good with this? With these number of examples that I've given you with the first rule of subject-verb agreement, I would want you to write down a couple of examples in order to register it in your mind, whether it would be he likes or he like. Are we good with this? I'll meet you next, again in one of the videos wherein we will again discuss common errors. You could also comment if there is any particular topic that you would want me to teach. Thank you very much for your support. Bye.